Hello, how you doing? This is Friday. The story of Rodrigo and Gabriela continues. And where did we stop last week?
We stopped when we ran out of money and we were living in a little apartment here in Ixtapa that had no air conditioner and that had no furniture.
And after the World Cup. And I had a question for you.
Yes.
Who won that World Cup?
France.
Oh, okay.
No?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So then we had no money. This is middle of low season. So this is July. Well, a little bit of high season, like local Mexican high season. So I remember we walked through, we tried to get a job in the hotels to play at the lobbies and nobody hired us, right?
Yes, what happened was we said, okay, don't panic, because we were a little bit panicking, like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
We needed to pay the rent, and we had no idea how a low season, how we were going to make money. We in our heads, because before we came to Ixtapa, we promised to ourselves that we were going to play guitar, only play guitar, because that's exactly what we wanted to do. Not playing with a metal band, that was no problem, because we already made peace with that idea that we were not going to become famous or metal superstars. So we were happy and liberated by all of that. But at that point, we were 100% sure that what we wanted to do was play guitar and travel the world. But we started in a nice place, and so we decided to, we want to find a job playing guitar. But in low season on those years at that time here, it was just like nobody was an Ixtapa. Absolutely no soul. It's just like empty, like the pandemic, it's like nobody. So we said, okay, don't panic. So let's put some material on the acoustics, a little bit more, because we had little.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think we did versions of Eric Clapton's Tears from Heaven, and maybe some Chica de Ipanema, which is like a bossa nova. Santana, Samba Pati.
Take Five.
So, and those sound really catchy on the acoustic guitars, and it was this magical place where the beach and this paradise. So we were confident that we were going to find something in low season.
Yes.
So we decided to walk into each hotel along the coast, which is like maybe 13 at that time, maybe 13 hotels. I'm very bad counting.
Yeah, but around that, or even less.
So we came to each one of those and all the restaurants in La Marina. And everybody was like, nah, interested. So everybody said, no. And we were not disappointed. We said, well, fine. We got our moments, like, what are we going to do? But then again was like, well, fine, but we're not going back to Mexico City. We're not going back to Mexico
For sure.
City.
That was
what really motivated us.
That was our drive, not to go back to Mexico City.
Yes, not to go back to the life we had there. Nothing against Mexico City. Actually, I love Mexico City very much.
At that time, well, I don't know you, but at that time I was sick of the city. I love it now, but I was
very
sick of
negative.
The city. Yeah.
And also where our lives weren't, we didn't feel happy with the life we were.
Traffic and...
But it was not just the traffic, it was everything else. So we had a call, we had something that drove us and moved us to come
something
here,
different,
to come to Ixtapa. So going back to this moment of, panicking, and so we said, this area in Ixtapa, we haven't asked, and there's this tiny little place, like a pizza place that is open, and it's nobody there usually, but at least they are open, and at least they have like one client or two clients. Maybe we should go and ask that place.
Called JJ's or JJ's.
JJ's Pizza. So we walked in and said, we play guitar and for you, blah, blah. And the guy was friendly enough against, like, comparing to all the hotels, people, yeah, which were ambiguous and not straight, and they didn't say anything to us. But this guy was like looking at us and said, "Oh, that's very nice. I love music. My friend here loves music. He had a friend there. He had the maracas, like shakers, and they had cool music, like jazzy music, yeah, on the background, on their speakers." So they said, "Oh, we love music. We love to have you. We can't afford you, and not in
this season." Yeah.
So, but he said, I can offer you, you can come here and play, and I'll give you a pizza at the end of the night, and you can sit, play, and I let you put the tip jar. And we said, okay, that sounds like a
deal.
Good deal. And it for us, and at least for me at that time, because I was very into the universe is gonna bring everything. I thought, oh, this is a yes from the universe. This is a good. Behind all this, behind all of these no's, this guy is saying yes to something. So we took it, and so it was like a rehearsal moment for many. I don't know, for a month. We were there every night. I don't know
if it was. Well, yeah, probably. I don't know, weeks.
Probably weeks. We don't remember this.
And days. I mean, a lot of those nights, we'll play, and no customers, right?
No customers.
So no tips. The only thing that we got was the pizza, which was good enough. I mean, it was great.
Yeah,
right?
But we also got time to put more material.
Exactly.
Like a little bit more practice in there. But generally,
what about the first day we got money? Remember?
Yes. So one day, people gave us a little money, and then one day this couple came in. I think the American couple, I guess, and they were the only ones, and they sat. And the guy came in and said,
"The beer."
Yeah, with the beer, like this wise kind of.
Yeah.
And then he put a 200 pesos bill into our
which was like $8 today.
It's like $8, so it was a lot of money.
For us, it was like, yeah.
And then he said, "Can you please play something that you wrote?" I said, yes, because we already had like a lot of like crazy little things, bits and pieces. So we played something, and he gave us that, and we were so happy. We were so happy because it was the moment of saying, yes, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. This is going to work.
Yes.
We're not going back to.
That's a key moment for us. Our trust came back.
Yeah.
That night we came back, and we had a little package or case of Pringles.
Pringles, yeah.
The red one, right? So we put the 200 pesos there.
That's our tip.
Yeah, this is our tip.
And money to go to Europe.
Our first money. We didn't know we were gonna go to Europe. I mean, we kind of knew. Yeah, but when? Who knows?
Who knows? But for me, it was like we're gonna start saving.
Saving money. Yeah, and that was like a sign. It was very, very exciting moment for us. So it's gonna work. This is gonna work.
This is going to work. So the way it works here in Ixtapa is when high season, which starts in December, it goes really high. And all of a sudden, everything is full, all the hotels. So some of the hotels were already hunting musicians to secure them for high season. Because sometimes it's very hard for hotels
right after the
and
summer.
Restaurants to hire musicians once the high season started. It's very hard. So we decided to go back and ask the hotels, because this guy was kind enough to advise us, the guy who owns the pizza place, to advise us, you should keep asking on the hotels, because sometimes the people who take the decisions, they don't even know that you already went and asked. So maybe it'll be worth try going back again. So we did that, and one hotel, somebody says, yes, come here, you have an appointment by tomorrow, whatever. We went, and the guy didn't show up, and then he said, "Oh, my boss will be tomorrow. Come back tomorrow." So we did that like 3 or 4 times. This guy, his boss, never showed up. In the meantime, we were asking again all the hotels, and there was another hotel that they say yes, quite rapidly, and they say you can start doing an audition today, and if we like it, you'll be hired. And so we said okay. So we were in the dilemma, thinking, because we were young, so we thought, oh, maybe the other guy at the hotel one day is gonna show up, and what are we going to do? That was the dilemma. And the pizza place guy he said to us, go with the one that offered the job already. Don't forget about the other idiot. Go with these guys. So we went and we played all the nice stuff. And the manager came out, and all the other executives, and they saw us play, and they invited us to go to their office and said, we love what you do, and we just want to make sure we're going to secure you for a high season, and we want to make sure you guys have enough material, because in this hotel, in the lobby, you're going to play 3 sets of 45 minutes, and we want to make sure that at least you have 100 songs already.
And we said, yes, for
we
sure.
Have 200.
We only got like 7.
Like 7 songs. And then we said, yes, of course. And then we saw them that were very interested. Like we saw them like, oh no, they can secure. And they offered little money. It wasn't like a lot of money. And so we said, okay, we might need to go back to Mexico City, we said. And the guys were like, oh, no. This was in June. And they were trying to secure us.
For November.
No, it was after the World Cup.
It was September, August, September, yeah.
So the guy said, no, how are you going back to Mexico City? We said, oh, because we don't have any more a place to live. We can't pay the rent unless you give us a room, an ocean view room, for example, during the low season, and that way we can stay here. And then said, okay. So he gave us the room first. No ocean view. He said, no ocean view, no. It'll be like a flat, like first floor room. And then we said, well, we need money. And they said, but there's no clients. I can give you the room, and I can give you the food. But anything, and then we pushed him to pay us a little bit. And so he said, okay, I'm gonna give you an advance of what you're gonna earn in December. So when we walked out, we said, okay, deal. We walked away from there, and me and we were laughing like, yes! Yes! So the universe again,
we made our first deal.
We made our first deal, and we were happy because we took all their stuff from the apartment, Severino apartment, and we just
the TV.
It was the TV and little bits and pieces.
Yes.
The guitars.
Not much, huh?
And so we stayed there, but they asked us to play, even if it was empty. They asked us to play the 3 sets.
Which was good. We were playing to the waiters, and we made friends. And then the guitars weren't working properly. Mm-hmm. So that was October probably, and we told Alberto, which is the name of that guy,
the manager,
said like, listen, we have to go back to Mexico City to change the guitars. He was afraid we were gonna stay there, but we kept all the stuff in the hotel. So,
but he was very a little distrustful at first, especially like some people in the hotel that worked there. Especially the guy who did all the numbers account, like the accountant of the hotel lives there, and he didn't like us at all. He was like, these guys came here and they demand all of these things, and now they're getting paid and they do whatever they fucking. Well, we never hear. I thought that's what he thought, because he didn't even say hello to us. Mm-hmm. And then the manager was, but how you are going to Mexico City? you are going back to Mexico City, you are asking me more money to buy guitars, but what about if you're not coming back? And we're like, no, we're gonna
Hold
come
on a
back.
second.
We're gonna come back.
Hold on a second. He didn't lend us the money for the guitars.
He
It
gave
was
us
Raúl in Mexico.
no, that was no. You see, we are like
You
an
see?
old people. No. Raúl gave us for money for the album, the last album we recorded with the metal.
No. Okay, see, he did. No. What last album? With Tierra Ácida.
We wanted to go back to Mexico
Yes.
City to get a much better guitars. They were
Absolutely,
far
yeah.
more expensive. We couldn't afford
Like a proper
electroacoustic, not just
with nylon strings and
with nylon string classical type of guitar.
which we saw Yamaha.
We bought
NX10. Yeah, of course. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
we
everything
bought
started there. Yeah.
everything. So we bought Yamaha, but before
Hold
we
on,
bought it, this guy Alberto, the manager, was like, "How am I going to know?" And we were sitting in the office just like this, and he was just there in his desk, and then we said, "Because we are coming back, just like that. How can we assure that, right?
Yeah.
That's our will, that's our intention." And then he said something that stuck with me, and I kept it because I liked it. And he said, "I trust people, and people is good, people is kind in their hearts. So I believe you guys are gonna come back. So ask that guy, the Contralor, to write the check for you." And we said, "Oh really? You want us to go there?" Because his office was like I don't know, like the wolf friggin' house, you know. So we were afraid of that guy. But that's what happened. So we went to this guy's office, which was like this scary looking, angry man. And then he was not happy. He said, I don't remember. He screamed at us and something like this. But he had no choice. He had to write the check and give it to us. So he gave us the check, and so we went to Mexico City to buy our guitars for the high season. And we did this like in 2 days.
Yes, and come back.
And came back on the bus because we didn't spend money this time on the plane or expensive cappuccinos or anything
That came later.
That came later. So what happened was we came back to Ixtapa with brand new guitars, and this guy was delighted. He said like, "Oh, you guys came back." And said, "Of course, we're good people." So that's how that all the work started, and we started playing. We were just very new. Yes, from Mexico City, you don't get to meet a lot of foreigner people from all over the world, not really. But in this place, we were exposed to meet people from all over the world, which at first was scary because you don't know. And so we started playing in this restaurant, and a lot of people came in and they said, "Oh, what's that?" At that time, we didn't have enough material, so that's where we started playing.
We really worked a lot.
All the Slayer and Metallica,
Yes.
all the Metallica's ballads, and all of that playing there, like just there, and people thought, "Oh, that's Mexican music."
But then we kind of made our name quick, right? Because a lot of people started to, from all the hotels, locally, a lot of hotels wanted us to play there. And they were paying better money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because we promised this guy we were gonna stay, we were kind of working a lot. We were playing in a restaurant called Emilio's Pizza.
Another pizza place.
We made friends, which obviously they play a very interesting role in the next chapter of the story. The owners of Emilio's. And then another place a little fancier, Pacifica, another hotel wanted us to be there. And then we started to play corporate events or like private parties and weddings and all that.
Parties. And plus we didn't want to screw this guy up because
the promise we
promised to finish the high season there. And so we had a lot of work. And we were not putting a lot of money on that Pringles anymore. We was just spending Because we're
For a while,
supposed to,
yeah.
we're supposed to keep all that money to go to Europe. But we were very bad saving
and
stuff.
we would go back to Mexico on a plane, and then yes, but we're not that bad because there's not much money to spend here.
We found our ways to spend it.
But yes, then next chapter will be the months right after and before leaving for Europe, right? So what happened in the last 3 months of working here in different places and meeting the people at Emilio's, the owners, who, they actually told us go to Ireland. So, but that'll be the next chapter. Another,
and before that, before we finish, we also say that musically speaking, we did all the versions of metal ballads and stuff acoustically in order to fill all of those 3 sets of 45 minutes, and but also then we started to coming up with more music, like cover versions of different musics, and that was very good for our ears and in a music point of view.
Yes.
So we were doing that. We didn't play the way we played today back then at all. And I remember you used to do the percussion solo on Take 5, and I played the riff, and I didn't play any rhythm with the hand at all. And then Rod said, we should play one of those Gypsy Kings stuff. And then I was hooked trying to figure out the rhythm. And it sounded terrible, absolutely horrible. It sounded shit. I remember said, no, you played with the pick. And I was like, no, because something in me said, stick to it, just keep practicing it. But it did sound terrible. And then I said, we should play There's No People, when was No People on the first 2 sets of 45 minutes. I said, play, and I remember you playing like, I don't like it, because it sounded terrible.
But we will play like Hotel California, like many songs, like classic rock tunes.
Yeah.
But in a kind of what would become Rod and Gab style, right?
Yes.
This is 1998. 1998.
Yes.
Yeah? So it's quite early. Not a lot of these acoustic revolutionary bands had started yet,
No, there was a duo, however, at that time. There was a duo that was very popular from California called Strons and Farah. And we happened to meet their music a few years back.
Well, no, it was here when we learned from them.
Oh, really? No,
yeah,
I knew them from
Emilio's.
before. I knew them from before. Because my mom got a lot of different tapes with different guitar music, and people confused the Strons and Farah with flamenco, which are not playing flamenco. No. And then the people said, oh, they play new flamenco.
No.
But no, they don't.
That doesn't really exist, right? New flamenco.
What was Otmar Lieber was new flamenco?
No, that's it, the name of his album, Novo Flamenco, but he didn't mean to come up with a new.
Okay. Whatever. It's like a Spinal Tap right now. But okay, so Strons and Farah, the guitar duo, really cool, great melodies. So, and both play with a pick, which was acoustic guitars playing with a pick. And we could relate with that.
Totally, yeah.
It was easier for us to figure it out, what were they doing, and play their covers instead of playing Paco de Lucia.
Exactly.
Like Paco de Lucia and all those flamencos, they play incredibly complex things. They're very hard to
Well, that's flamenco. That's a different ball altogether.
Exactly, that's flamenco. Although we loved flamenco, it was easy for us to relate to how can we play a piece that is different, that is it's guitar-based music, and it was this guitar duo that we became fans, and at some point we wanted to sound like them, like
it was like a world music, but incredible.
That's cool. High level. So, and
that's it.
That's it for
Too
the
long
month.
for today. So 25 minutes. Thank you very much. See you next Friday for the next chapter, whatever that is. Ciao.